graph diagram for this power regulation. There are 4 phases. Number 5 is not interesting for us, that's the higher power. There are 4 phases we can drive. The first one is you are allowed to drive up to 6 kilometers with any force. So the motor force, which is the upper arrow, could be about 1 kilowatt or 3 kilowatt. You can really use high torque for this and can drive up to 6 kilometers an hour. At this point, you also can build a switch off to the pass sensor. You don't need the pedal assist sensor up to 6 kilometers. It just must only start to work at this point of 6 kilometers. So this is for challenged people and stuff. They can use a first kick to bring the bicycle to roll, and at the point of 6 kilometers an hour, they have to pedal, not to bring the bike from 0 in a moving situation. And then you can drive up to 25 kilometers an hour with lowering power. So at the point of 6 kmh, you have to lower the power down to the 250 watts. And the dotted line number 4 is this thing with a secondary force where you can have more, and for a short time a little bit more than the 250 if you accelerate it. At the top speed, 25 kilometers, the force of the motor will regulate down. And this is also the point where if you now start to really enforce your pedaling, you won't get faster, you will reach 25, 26 kilometers, and then just save your batteries. The energy is not used from the batteries or from your pedaling. We'll do this later, you know. The price, just a short round, I don't want to talk about this. It's too much expensive at the moment. This is no mass production, this is not very well known, there are no big vendors, and it's still a niche, and so we have really high investments at the moment. The technology itself is very rudimentary and very simple. It could be much, much cheaper in a mass production situation. There's no magic, that's just normal, simple technology, but still expensive. Besides the batteries, which is another point. Okay. Yes, I talked about single admission. This is hard to achieve because you have to document your vehicle. You have to you have regulations for your wheels. You need larger wheels. You have regulation for brakes. Everything has to be tested. If you do this for one single bicycle, it has a value, I think. I'm totally unable to do any production to get an admission for a series or stuff, so this is far away. That's hard for a company or stuff. And with a single admission, you have still the problem. You have to do it on a country base. You cannot do a single admission at EU base. So if you can get one in Germany with one or the other hack, it does not mean that you can use it in France or stuff. So this is not interesting at the moment. There's one special thing, the Swiss Bee. The Swiss Bee is also a pedelec. It's defined as a pedelec, but it's from a special Swiss company, and they get something like a single admission for their bikes. They can use up to 30 kilometers an hour, which is 5 kilometers faster. And you can use it all over in the EU. I do not know how it worked, but they got a special case. The problem is this vehicle is closed. It's ready, you can drive 30 kilometers, but you're not allowed to hack it. If you hack around with it and change stuff on the controller side or on the motor, you will lose this admission you get on 30 kilometers. So this is a little special from the Swiss. Okay, so what have I done with this stuff? I have these two bicycles. The Tadpole trike was my regular driving car to get to work as a commuter, regular basis, 25 kilometer a day, one way, then charge during work, and the way back 25 again. So we'll get up in 3 months, about a little bit more than 3 months, 3,500 kilometers work and back without gas. It worked fine. Nice thing. Rain is always a topic, but everything is okay. The hardware and the stuff works. No water problems, no corrosion or stuff, and also very, very seldom failures on the street. So I never have to give up. I never crashed anywhere on the way. It was always possible to get home. So it's really a nice technology. It worked, and I hope many more people want to join, because I knew a parking lot with about 2,000 cars, every car one person. A parking lot with 2,000 of these, well, maybe. So the power controller project is still a theory, which I want to enhance on this campsite. So I can talk about experience, but this is still already the next thing. And the street experience. Again, this is the bike with a windshield, just for completion. You see it here in real life. The windshield is homegrown. We tried out some stuff. The technical information about the system, the motor system is from a company called Chryslerlite. It's a Canadian-based company, but sure they're built in China. It's a 45 kilometer top speed, and I had about 0.7 kilowatt, so shortly 1 kV. That's really enough for such a light vehicle. I have 4 12-volt blocks, chained 48, and as I told, 25 kilometer per charge, with full throttle. So if you drive smoother and use more pedaling, you can reach 35 to 40 kilometer with this trike. It's no problem. These 25 kilometer is really hard driven by using the motor all the time. As I told at the beginning, the important point are brakes, very important point. So this bike got oil disc brakes. They're very smooth, like on a motorcycle. You get 2 of these, and with this axis you have really a good brake condition if you go in. The wheels had to be hardened because with the normal one at this top speed of 45 kilometers they broke down. The spokes are too thin, and the rim was flaky. So we got an 8, and now it's hardened stuff from the BMX scene. They have 20-inch wheels and much harder profiled rims and spokes. And the steering is something special for the trike. You have a whole steering system on the side, which you have to harden because the hits from the wheels are really rough, and at some point we have problems with the steering heads. So that's the city, the city bike, the small edition, a funny little folding bike, 20-inch wheels and a front motor. And this one is a legal one. It does not drive 25 kilometers an hour. Regular basis with a pass sensor and 7 amp hour batteries on the Sozius. So with this, 40 kilometer per charge is possible. If you pedal even more, in the city it's for sure less, because you have too often situations where you use it to accelerate. Battery mount was the biggest problem. and is still. You see it looks really ugly. It's 10 kilograms. It's 1/3 of the whole bike, and with bumps and stuff, we always have problems with screws and some mounting kit. We want to take it in backs, left and the right. It's not a good solution to put it on the top of the backpack. The funny part is full suspension. In Berlin you will need this. Even on other places. Here on the field it's also very, very good. And the V-brakes, again the brakes, yes, they were these crappy old ones, and now we had some V-brake solutions to enhance this. So, yes, bikeway is the best thing for it. You have no problem with car drivers, it's the easiest way. On roads, be careful. It's a really new situation that you are such fast with the bike. I knew that everyone can pedal these speeds with a regular bicycle, even if it's especially if it's a light one. But with this motor, you are able to do this every time, and we use much more acceleration moments. If I have one of these hardcore bikers beside of me, this guy is really tough, but sorry, it's an electronic motor, and the first torture is really, really high. No chance. At the top speed he will kill me, but not for long. So be careful with the food chain. These cars and all other people do not know about your power. They do not know that you can hit the grip shift and give some power and force you. So be careful. Always think in this passive driving, you know. The pigs, no problem. No one recognized me at this point. We have no police contact at all. I do not know if any policeman is outside there knowing about pedelec. And I also don't want to tell one if he asks me the word pedelec. I know his reaction. Totally, what? It's unknown. They do not know it, and they just don't ask because it makes no sound. It's totally silent, and so I really was near to them, no interest. Okay? So maybe we will have some reports from this. At this moment, no contact with the police. Yes. And the commuting, finally, the commuting thing was about 1,000 kilometers a month. And all. Damit es nicht quietscht. Danke. Okay, for the final one, good thing from the last Congress, I want to bring it here to the end.
Are there any questions?
Okay, so now we have some time left to do question and answer here, if you want.
Yeah, I wonder about the city bike. If you turn off the electronic stuff, does you need more energy to push it, or will it be like a little brake? Or
sorry again, pardon.
If you turn off the electricity, the city bike has a common chain.
Yes,
power.
Sure.
So
both, you need this for the pedaling part, yeah. So you can drive it without the batteries. The best thing is to load down the battery, to bring away the batteries, so you do not need to drive this weight. And then, yes, you feel a force against you. It's harder to drive this wheel. So it's harder. The wheel itself weighs about 6 or 7 kilograms. So you have this weight on board, and you have to push into the magnetic ring, but only in the weight, not in a magnetic force against you. It's just about the weight stuff. Another thing is it rolls really easy. If you got it on a speed, it keeps on rolling, so it's okay. It's not the point.
Hello. Did you ever calculate the running costs for the energy per kilometer?
Yes, but I stopped it. It's too cheap. This 25 kilometers thing cost me 0.6 kilowatt hours.